Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode number 325. We have a world's record holder in terms of person who's been on the Mail Right Show the most. We're back with Ricky Carruth, which, as far as John and I are concerned, he can keep coming back on the show over and over because he's got such incredible things to share. But for anybody, the one or two
he's a pain for punishment, though, isn't he, Robert?
Well, and John's on his pain meds today, guys. I don't know what's going on with John, but he's on one. So, but anyway, we're here with Ricky. Ricky, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the one or two people who may not know you?
Yeah, for sure. Good to have me on a fourth time. You guys it's always an interesting conversation. So yeah, no, I've been selling real estate for 20 years. I'm in Alabama, right on the beach, right next to Florida. And no, that's about it, man. I'm just a hard worker. Just trying to get better every day. I've got some interesting things, right, to share with you guys, updates and stuff for the show. So yeah, I'm basically on a mission to help as many people as I can, right? And then at the same time, you guys know, I want to do it at no expense to the people I'm helping, right? So,
ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna expand on Ricky's introduction. He's at this point, when he first came on the show, he was in the inception of becoming a real estate coach. He's now probably one of the top followed real estate coaches that exists. He has. I haven't checked your numbers lately, but they were impressive a year ago when we talked to you last, and I'm certain that you've just grown in popularity. At this point, when people call me for my consultations, your name is brought up frequently, which wasn't the case when we first met with you. So Ricky is an amazing coach. He practices circle prospecting. He gives out some information about the real estate technology that he uses in his endeavors, and that's just a couple of the subjects that he covers that I've seen. I'm sure there's many more, but that's what I've seen. John, go ahead. Why don't you? And John, guys, for those listening, is one of the top WordPress web developers that I know of. He is a master of his art. He has two companies. He has another podcast that's wildly popular that talks about WordPress. But John, why don't you go ahead and share why you do this show?
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, I'm big into WordPress. I run the biggest WordPress podcast at the present moment. That has between 5,000 and 10,000 listeners per month. This is a pretty big podcast, not as big, but I'm amazed at the great support we get and the amount of people we get to listen to us. But I think it's the quality of our guests, not our insights, Robert. But no, Robert has an enormous amount of knowledge, and I run MailRight. We provide custom WordPress websites to agents that want to own their most important digital asset, plus a host of bolt-on extra functionality that agent can utilize to empower their digital marketing. Over to you, Robert.
Well, it's not going to be over to me. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have a couple subjects that I want to talk to Ricky about, which I've already shared prior to the show starting. But I want to start off asking Ricky to share with us. Actually, John, I'm going to have you take it away because I don't remember the title of the video. Yeah. I did not watch it, but John did. He was really, really impressed with it. He wanted to ask.
I looked at a few of them, but I thought this was quite a good one.
Okay.
I've got to tell you, listeners and viewers, Robert is struggling. He's been out and about last night, the rotter. There we go. So he's like a cat for the musical Cats. So there we go. So I watched this video and I thought, so can you tell us? And it was called "You Got to Change Your Way to Play the Game." Intriguing title, Ricky. And I thought the video. So can you tell us what the video was about and why you wanted to make the video and the point you were trying to make?
Tell me what you got out of it. I'm looking for it on YouTube.
Oh, sorry, what did you say?
I said, tell me what you got out of it, because I honestly, is it on YouTube? I can't find that.
No, I'm sure it was on your channel. No. No, I got it wrong. If I got it all wrong, Ricky. So if you want to, I apologize if I got it wrong.
John, let me save you this particular time.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Ricky, I'm going to pick up the ball. We'll find this video and then we'll talk
Right.
about it for all of you listening to the podcast.
Find that video, Jonathan, because I'm searching YouTube. When you said it earlier, I was thinking it sounds like something I say, but I don't know.
I apologize if I got
Okay.
it totally wrong. Oh, sorry.
So at the beginning of the show, what I asked Ricky is, so when we first met, or when I first met Ricky, and it was me and John collectively, the real estate market, it was very different. I think that we did our first show with you, Ricky, before the pandemic even hit, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So since then, we've had a pandemic. We've met with you twice, and the strategies that you've used, and in that time, right in the middle of a pandemic, you also decided to switch brokerages in the midst of all of this market change. So there's two things that I am really interested in knowing. So we're here a year later. When did you change over? You changed over from Remax to EXP, if memory serves me correctly. Is that right?
Yep. It was March 10th. So the shutdown happened, like March 15th or something like that. So it was literally days before the entire shutdown of the U.S. economy.
Okay. So what has your, like, here we are March. So yeah, we're almost exactly a year later. So
2 years.
2 years? We're 2 years into it.
Mm-hmm.
There are lots of people that are thinking about changing, like, brokerages, where they work, how they work, which I think is an important part of any conversation about real estate, because EXP is a digital broker. They're in the cloud. It definitely is one of those places where the mechanics of doing business theoretically are different. So I am curious to know, you've now made this change a while ago. How are you feeling about it? Did you change the method of how you did business in any significant way? And do you still, I mean, I'm not asking you to pan anybody or anything like that, but do you still appreciate the way that you're being supported a year or two later?
Well, it's a good question. So first off, there's a lot of misconceptions out there, right? So EXP, people say it's a digital, it's a virtual, it's a cloud-based brokerage, right? Well, the fact is all brokerages are, right? Every brokerage uploads their documents to the cloud. They get electronic signatures, they communicate by text and email, so on and so forth, right? So we're all digital. Everything's in the cloud, no matter what brokerage you're with. It's just a matter of where you're working. Right. So again, another misconception. EXP doesn't say you can't have an office. They just say we don't care if you have an office. If you want an office, go get an office. Get it approved by the state commission. Get it approved through us and have a branch of our office. They're fine with that. I own a branch office. So I have an office right down the road where I have a team that works and I have employees and everything else. Through my organization that I built at EXP around the country, we have many branch offices all around. And so it's really instead of really the misconception that it's different, right? It's really the same thing, right? It's the same thing, but better, right? Because you have to think of EXP as a platform that you can take and build your business on, your corporation, your company. Right. So like it's not a traditional brokerage, right? They basically have gone out and they're classified as a brokerage, but in reality, what they've done is they've created the infrastructure that you can take and go build your company on. Okay. So let me go deeper. With Remax, I was there for 10 years. Okay. I paid them $500,000 over that 10 years and have nothing to show for it whatsoever. Right. It just went into the Remax deep, dark hole and I have nothing to show for it. I can't grab anything tangible and sell it or give it to you or show you. It literally just went into making the corporation rich. So EXP founders in 2008, when he decided to do this, the biggest part of it was he realized that all the agents are out there in the industry working their ass off to help people buy and sell real estate, right? To come back to pay fees and commission splits to the brokerages, making these corporations rich, and the agents get nothing in return. Okay, nothing. Okay, the ones that give support and training, great. All brokerages do. So take that off the table. What else you got? Nothing, right? Because your clients are doing business with you because they like you. Has nothing to do with the brand of the brokerage you're with. So they said, well, if all the agents are out there working their ass off to help our corporation become wealthy and get rich, that's not fair that the agents aren't cut in on that action. Why can't we build a model where agents are actually partners with us? Right. And that was the infancy of EXP, was that they wanted to be partners with the agents. So how can they do that? Well, they created a model where if you're out there just selling real estate like you normally are at other brokerages, they award you with being a partner in the company and giving you equity in their business. Right. So here we are. I'm 2 years in. Okay. I paid $500,000 to Remax, nothing to show for it. I'm 2 years with EXP. I've paid them $40,000 total for the 2 years. They gave me $50,000 in equity, which is right now worth $150,000. Right. So I've got $150,000 worth of my own company. Right. Well, I've used their platform to build my company that's worth $150,000 right now. Right. So that's the first part of it, is that it's an infrastructure for you to go build your business. And if you want to go out and just sell real estate and build equity in the company, great. They're a $5 billion company, right? And agents own $2.5 billion of it, right? So the agents, the 73,000 agents that's growing by 1,000 a week, right? The agents are a half 50-50 partner with the corporation. That was the original plan by the corporation, for the agents to actually be a 50-50 partner with them. Now, why would the company give up half their corporation? Well, the $2.5 billion that's still left is still worth 5 times more than Remax's entire company. So they created a scenario where everybody wins, not just the corporation. Everybody wins, right? So there's that part of it where you can actually build equity in your own company and build it up and use their infrastructure to build your business, right? Then there's the platform that you can expand. Like every single agent in EXP gets their own franchise. They basically say, here's a franchise, here's a franchise, here's a franchise. And you can literally open up an office if you want to, right? And you can expand nationally and even internationally immediately for no money, no liability, no broker responsibilities, nothing. So I brought in 150 agents over the 2 years. That's turned into 1,000 agents so far, right? I brought on 3 brokerages. 2 were 100 agent brokerages, one in LA, one in Fort Lauderdale, 38 agent in New Jersey. So you have the power as just a single agent to actually bring on entire offices from anywhere. And all those agents get added to your organization, that you make money every time they sell something. And as those agents go out and build their organizations, you get credit. I've got 25 agents in South Africa, 34 in Canada, 4 in Australia. So I'm able to expand not just nationally and acquire entire brokerages. I can bring on agents from other countries and build my influence in these other countries. And we're growing in these other countries, right? So my group we're almost to 1,000. I'm in the high 900s, growing by 75 a month, right? And I probably bring in 3 or 4 of those a month. The other 70 are brought on by people in my organization, right? I don't even know who these agents are. And so now it creates a situation where you can actually create your own empire and be your own Gary Keller, whereas Gary Keller has 200,000 agents at Keller Williams, right? But he probably knows 500 to 1,000 of them if he has the memory of an elephant. But he's making money on 200,000. He doesn't know those agents, right? They're just in his organization. Same thing here. The 1,000 agents I have, I probably know 300 or 400. The other 500 or 600, I don't know who they are, but I make money every time they sell something, and this is going to continue to grow, right? So it's put us in a position where we make money like Walmart now and Quicken Loans. Quicken Loans has the cheapest rates in town. Okay. And your local lender can't come down to the same rates as Quicken Loans. Why? Because Quicken Loans is dealing with volume. They're making a little margin on millions of transactions. Same thing with Walmart. They undercut the price because they're buying in bulk, and they make a little margin on millions of transactions. Not like your mom and Paul's, where they're just getting paid on a couple, so they have to charge more to even make ends meet. And so they're putting you in position to do the same thing, because my 1,000 agents are closing 500 deals a month. So I go out there and work my ass off to go sell 100 properties a year to make all the money, or I can get a little margin on 500 deals a month without even touching any of those deals. And I can scale the 500 to 10,000. There's a guy getting paid on 10,000 deals a month. He doesn't touch any of the deals. I can't scale from 100 as a single agent. I can't go any more than 100 a year as a single agent. And so they've put us in a position where we can make money like a Quicken Loans, like a Walmart, where we're getting paid small margins on hundreds and even thousands of transactions instead of working our ass off to make all of the money on one. So there's many different facets to this, right? There's many different avenues of how you can use this platform, because it's a platform, right? It's not like a everyday brokerage, like, oh, we switch from Remax to EXP, or go to Keller Williams, or go to Century 21, and you just look at the commission split, the numbers, if you're going to make more. That's not what this is. When you figure in the equity they give you back, that's going to expand over the years. When you figure in what you can do with the rev share, if you want to recruit, you don't have to recruit, you don't have to build your own brokerage. But let's say in 5 years you do want to expand. Well, you have the opportunity to, right? But by that time, you have so much equity built up that's multiplied. Listen, they profited 65 million through 3 quarters. All right, last year. They haven't reported the 4th quarter yet. Remax is down 19 million. Compass is down 300 million. Redfin loses money. Zillow loses money. They're up 65 million. They got 100 million sitting in the bank. They own Success Magazine, right? Tony Robbins' son runs Success Magazine. We own it. We own Vera Bella, the virtual world. We own Showcase IDX. So when you own the stock, they're giving you equity in the holding company that owns all these other companies and all the other companies they're going to buy in the future. So this guy's very innovative. The people running this ship, and it's just, there's nothing, you can't really compare it to anything else. They've created a platform that we can go out and really build something massive. Everyday regular agents can go out there and build something massive nowadays.
Beautiful. Well, I guess that's a thorough report. We need to go to our break. When we come back, either John or I will queue up another question from Ricky, but I think it's safe to assume that Ricky doesn't have any complaints about the support he's receiving. I'm always curious about EXP. I want to do a full disclosure. I own a little bit of their stock. I'm always curious so I don't want people to think that I'm shilling without telling anybody that I'm shilling. But I'm really actually just curious to see how the model is going. I like the general concept that I saw years ago when they first came on the marketplace with people like you, Ricky, and I have many contacts. You are not the only one who have left and gone over to EXP.
I mean, you see big teams. Like we just had $100 million team, the number 1 Remax team in Alabama and Birmingham, come over a couple weeks ago. I think it's Charlotte, North Carolina, where EXP was actually number 1 in volume over all the other companies. Here in my market 2 years ago, EXP had they were number 7 on the chart in terms of market share. This last year we're number 3. We went from 7 to 3. You're going to see, because the model is so attractive to agents, not just team leaders and brokers, but even new agents with their mentorship program and all the stuff that they offer for new agents. It's such an attractive model with equity and the opportunity to expand, that you're going to see these big producing teams continue to come over, which is going to do nothing but catapult us into getting closer and closer to outselling everyone. We're picking up all the top agents in each market. It's just a matter of time before we're the top agency in the world.
Don't know that I disagree, but before we go any further, we're going to be right back. For whatever platform any of you are watching, viewing, listening to us on, please do John and I a favor, and Ricky too. Go ahead and give us a thumbs up. If you're on Apple iTunes, go ahead and leave us a comment on Apple iTunes. Wherever you are, if you have something to say about the show, if you want to ask some additional questions, if for some reason Ricky loses his mind, decides to come on time number 5, do you have any additional questions for Ricky? You can find Ricky all over the internet. Just do Ricky Carruth Real Estate, and you'll find his YouTube channel and his website and his coaching company and just everything else. And John, you can go to mail-right.com, and me, you can go to inboundrem.com. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here with Ricky Carruth. It's episode number 325. Before the break, we were talking about how Ricky is feeling and has felt about a transfer over to EXP from RE Max that he made 2 years ago. I'll summarize and say he feels pretty good about it. Um, so the next question that I have, which John, are you needing?
No, I think I better keep my mouth shut because I've managed to find a video that I've come to the conclusion that Ricky never made. So I don't know what's happening to me.
Okay.
I've never done that. I apologize, Ricky.
Let me spiral into something here, and maybe this will spur on some conversation. While we're here, I wanted to.
Sure.
And I didn't mention this because I wanted to kind of do it, live with you guys to kind of give you an update of where I am, right, in my business and kind of what's going on, the direction I'm going in and everything, which you guys will probably find very interesting. But, for 20 years, I've been a single agent. I was the number one Remax agent in Alabama. I've closed 100 deals a year for the last 8 years. Last year was number 8. And I finally come to this place where I'm going to step out, and I'm in the process of building a team to take over my residential sales. Whereas I'm going to take that step back out of residential production and go out and pursue commercial sales, right? Big apartment complexes, strip centers, whatever, stuff like that. So that's one step that I'm making. And I've actually consulting with people who have helped other agents build billion-dollar teams. They've done this many, many times, helped me structure the team to do it right. And also I'm consulting with commercial people on that end who are doing $100 million deals, who are basically telling me everything they know and showing me the ropes on that side, right? So I'm kind of stretching myself and, not just saying, okay, 100 deals a year, kind of passively, and got the EXP thing going. My coaching business is going well, and all these things are going great. I'm happy where I am. That's not where I'm at. I'm actually, I didn't know what I was going to do with my real estate business. If I was going to throw it away or just give it to somebody and say, pay me referrals or what, because it's not really worth my time anymore to go on listing appointments and to continue showing property. It's not where I'm at anymore. And so I didn't know what I was going to do. So for me to step out and go build a team is really fun to me, because now I can take my $50 million a year business and actually turn it into a company that I'm running from like more of a CEO position and ramp that up from the 50, and the goal is to get it to 100 million. And that's a lot in my market, right? We did like $2 billion in sales in my area, in the Gulf Shores, Orange Beach area. So 100 million is 5%. That's a big market share for one entity, right? And an MLS. So that's the goal there, right? And then in terms of the coaching, this is our first round. We started January 1st of doing completely free one-on-one coaching, where I've actually certified coaches, 0 to diamond coaches, who actually call the agents once a week, 30-minute calls. This is all free. Right. So I revamped the 0 to diamond program and changed it from a 90-day action plan to a 60-day challenge. Another key fact here is that now 0todiamond.com is a social media platform, where when you go and log into 0 to diamond, it looks like Facebook, right? There's a wall right there. There's a news feed where you can post on your profile, you can follow people, friend people, DM people, like their posts, like their comments, create groups. All that stuff is right there within that 0 to diamond ecosystem at 0todiamond.com. Whereas the 60-day challenge is attached, and it's more set up like a course style with week 1, week 2, week 3, and then we have the application for the free coaching. So the free coaches, they help the agents through that 60-day challenge, right? Okay. And then as they go through the 60-day challenge, then we're going to take a month off, and every quarter we start a new batch of agents. So right now, as we speak, I've got 22 certified coaches, and we're coaching about 110 agents through the 60 days right now. Nothing but incredibly positive reviews, and everybody's just extremely over the top happy with how everything's going. The agents who didn't make it to the one-on-one, they're still doing the 60 days and they love it. I'll end this whole rant with a survey that we did. We did a survey about a month ago, and because we wanted to really dig in and see exactly what kind of impact 0 to diamond has had on the industry. So we found in the survey, of course, there's a lot of incredible stories about people that were making 150 that went from making that to doing the program to making 650 the next year, and people that are making 350, they're making 850, and people that are making 100,000 making 350, just all kinds of stuff like that. But the most interesting part of it was that 7 out of 10 agents say they get more listings and close more deals. 87% say they have better time management, which means a lot to me because it tells me that they're probably spending more time with the family and doing things that they like to do. 75% say they read more, and 99% say they enjoy being a real estate agent more. And that was the biggest one for me, right? Because at the end of the day, that's really kind of what our goal is to reduce the failure rate, but also try to help people, enjoy it. Because we got into this business to set our own hours and to have freedom and to enjoy our life more and make more money and to be happier, right? But a lot of agents feel like their business is controlling them, and they're working until 10 o'clock and they're stressed out all the time, and it's not really what they thought it was going to be. And so what we're trying to do is help agents on that side of it, get back to the reason why they got into real estate and really kind of take control back from their business and create a scenario where they're enjoying being a real estate agent. They're closing more deals or spending more time with the family, right? So said a lot there. Probably gave you some good ammo.
You said a ton. I of course ran right over to Zero to Diamond and registered and logged in. It's interesting. I haven't been here long enough to have any comments about that. I'm as a general commentary, I love your story arc, like as a human being. I don't know that I have something that's specific to the show, except to let our listeners get to know me and you a little bit better. Is that all I hear is a guy saying he's decided he's going to level up, and that this is what leveling up looks like to you. And I, as a serial entrepreneur who has a few different interests of his own, and I understand what that's all about, because you're just always looking for whatever the next level is for your particular thing. I'm doing the same for some of my primary business and some of my ancillary businesses, and MailRight real estate bit was John doing the same. And he doesn't talk about it much, but he also does investing in some other stuff too. So he's always on his own way of leveling up. So we're all on this journey, and I hear this is your journey, and I'm excited for it. I haven't had the chance to research it, but I will get into it and look at how your coaching clients are talking about you. Now, I will say this. Go ahead, John.
I think we're getting close to the end of the podcast, but I think in the bonus content, I think if Ricky's okay about it, we can have another 10, 12 minutes. We can delve in some of the things he's observed in his coaches around practical things that they see patterns that they improve the agent's performance. Because I totally believe the things you've said, Ricky, because you always struck me as a straight shooter, so you've made some powerful statements about improvement. What I would like is your insight about how you and your coaches manage to get those agents to improve. And I think that would be useful to the MailRight audience. What do you reckon, Robert?
Sure. We'll follow your lead.
God.
All right.
We're doomed.
Ladies and gentlemen, this time around, unlike the break, I'm going to let the guys sing themselves off the show. So, Ricky, if you'd like, since you have changed so much and things are so different for you, where would you like people to go research either you or your companies or your other coaches? Where do you want to send people if they were interested in following you?
Anywhere really, whatever your favorite platform is. I do a lot of stuff on YouTube. I'm actually going a different direction with YouTube, where I'm actually creating the content now as opposed to editors and stuff like that. And I'm trying to be more thoughtful there. I want to do better on that platform, and it's actually worked really well for the past couple of weeks. It's been just purely content I've created. Also Instagram, right? So you can follow through I post on my stories quite often follow me through my day and everything. Everything's in the link in my bio in terms of I have a Discord, I have a text community, I have the free coaching platform. All that stuff is right there. I drop a podcast every day, 7 days a week on iTunes and all the other podcast channels, right? So, yeah.
I don't know how you do all this.
So, yeah, I mean, zerododiamond.com is a good place. Instagram is the best place to get me. I answer all my DMs there every day, right? So, I get tons of messages from agents all over asking all kinds of stuff. So if you want to have that more personal connection, Instagram's the place for that. Otherwise, check out zerododiamond.com and connect with the other Zero to Diamond agents and chase that 60-day challenge.
Go ahead, John. How would you like people to?
I thought I was a pretty hard worker, but this guy makes me feel I don't know well, Robert doesn't care because he's rode me last night, but he makes me feel inadequate. I don't know. I don't know what to say, Robert. I think we better end the show. I need coaching from Ricky about my performance. That's all I've got to say.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to know the numbers, Ricky has 81,000 subscribers. His channel has millions of views at this point. He has got 1,288 uploaded videos on his primary profile, and he started a second channel. So something that John and I talk about frequently that I look at this and I know a couple different things. No matter what you told me right now, I know that you feel like YouTube is effective. You wouldn't invest this much time and energy into it if you didn't feel like it was moving the needle for all of these businesses that you just mentioned. So, and you're investing in it deeply. I do the same. I don't know that I want to do it to the level that you're doing it, but you've had tremendous success on it. And if anybody wants to follow Ricky, I strongly suggest that you go there. I can't even begin to imagine what the value might be to a brand new agent. You could probably just watch Ricky's videos and basically get coached up to the point that you could make a really good living in real estate, and all of it for free. So his statements about this being free, I find them to be true, especially with all the content that he has on the channel. If anybody would like to reach out to me, I am not free. You can go to inboundrem.com. A conversation with me is free. I also try to give away my time. I just do it one person at a time. I do have a lot of content about reviewing existing real estate technology. I also have a little bit of commentary on my YouTube channel about EXP, not much, but some. So anybody can check me out on YouTube, Robert Newman, Inbound REM. Same thing with my website, inboundrem.com. With no further ado, we're going to go to our final break. We're going to move over to the Mail-Right YouTube channel, and you'll be able to see the last 10 minutes of the show there. And I forget what John said we're going to talk about, but we're going to talk about that, and we'll see you soon. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the final little bit. You're now seeing all of our beautiful faces on YouTube, and we're excited to wrap up the show. John, I'm going to let you pick up where you left off and kick over to Ricky. I remember now the question about coaching.
Yeah, sure, because you made some powerful statements in the podcast part of the show, Ricky, about what you and your coaches, the kind of results you're seeing from the students. So, obviously all these students are different real estate agents, different personal styles, they're just different. Do you see any consistent patterns that you and your coaches help with to overcome?
Well, like you said, everybody's different, right? So we have to dig in and to each specific agent situation and see what it is they're lacking, right? If it's a new agent and they have their own specific problems, but some agents need accountability. Some agents need fundamentals. Some agents need a better schedule. Some agents are just doing the wrong stuff. You need more efficient activities. Some agents are doing everything right. They just need some validation. Some agents are doing everything right and have a negative outlook. They think they're doing everything wrong, but they're doing everything right. And for those, it's more of a therapy session. So people need coaches for different reasons, right? And so what we have to do is dig into each situation and find out exactly what it is that is holding them back from going to that next level. And honestly, the biggest thing is self-development. So like, for example, If most agents, really probably 99% of agents, if I handed them, okay, on a silver platter, 5 times more business, okay, and just said, here's 5 times more business, chances are they're not going to know what to do with it, how to handle it, right? Because 5 times more business equals 5 times more stress, 5 times more problems, you got to be 5 times better at time management, 5 times better at communication, right? And so, well, what does all that equal? Well, you have to become a 5 times better version of who you are. The version of yourself now can't handle 5 times more business until you've developed yourself into a 5 times better version of yourself that can handle 5 times more business, right? And so that's what we try to tap into, is where they are right now in terms of their communication skills, their personal development, their reading, their time management. What does their schedule look like? Where's their mind? Do they realize that it doesn't matter if the market crashes, closings are going to continue to happen? Where are they in the process of developing themselves into who they need to be to do more business? It's like new agents come in and, after like 3 or 4 months, they kind of become frustrated. They put all this work in and they haven't closed any deals. Well, the thing is they haven't developed themselves into the person who understands they got to be patient. It's a personal development deficiency, right? And so we've got to get that into we've got to change their psyche there around the fact that they're not going to get where they want being who they are today, right? And I'm just speaking in generalities. The first step is we got to figure out where they're lacking and what stage they are with everything. But at the end of the day, to do more, they've got to be more. They got to be the next best version of who they are, right? Or they're not going to be able to handle the next level of business that's going to be thrown at them. And through becoming that next level version of yourself, that's what's going to bring that next wave of business that's going to take you to that next level. So it's kind of a chicken and egg thing, right? So
well, it's a bit like farm. Don't know if you agree with this linkage. It's a bit like farming in a way. The actual farming, you got to prepare the soil, and you got to know when what crops will work in what soil condition. There's a lot of things going on.
That's a good point. That's a good point, because we have to identify what works really well for them. Because listen, all the lead generation sources work. Okay, all of them, right? But some work better for others than other agents, right? So, one thing, there's 3 systems they need in place. They need their lead gen systems, they need their follow-up process for hot leads, and they need their personal branding machine. Those needs to be systematically put in place. Well, if they don't know what those top 2 or 3 lead gen sources that work really well for them are, then that's step 1. We have to put that in place. So I have them sit down and write down every lead gen source they can think of, right? Every single one of them. And there's, most people can only come up with a good 10, 15, 20 at the most, right? And then I want them to go through the process to figure out which of the 2 of these work the best for them. That may take weeks of trial and error or even months, but they've got to figure out what's the best top 2 and maybe a third secondary lead gen that they can go all in on, that's very systematically putting them in front of new people to have conversations, right? To make great first impressions, to add to the database, right? That's where the personal branding machine comes in place. What's your machine behind building your brand with people you've talked to, right? And then you've got to have a system for the people who say, I'm ready to do something now or within the next 1 to 6 months. Okay, what do we do with those people? What's the system? What's the process that we use to handle those kind of prospects? So once you have those 3 systems in place, now we just put all of our efforts into those 3 systems. I mean, personal branding, there's millions of things you can do for personal brand, but you can't do all of them. We got to figure out what those top 2 or 3 things are that work really well for you, right? And get them in place and go all in on these things that work really well for you. And it's different for everyone. Some people are really good with for sale by owners and open houses. Some people like Facebook leads and circle prospecting. Some people like, door knocking and sphere of influence, whatever. You just got to figure out what it is, and it better be producing enough, a high enough frequency of conversations to get enough people. Our goal is to make 5 new friends a day in the market, right? To add to the database. If we're doing that, we're hitting on all cylinders. If we have our systems in place, it's just a matter of time before we're one of the top agents in the area, right? So, Yeah, I like it. Is a lot like farming. You got to figure out what works best for you, how you like to prepare your soil, and what crops you really
Yeah,
want
then
to.
the other thing I was trying to utilize that, forgot the word that means you're comparing two different things.
Analogy.
Analogy. Thank you, Ricky. I'm not doing very well today, am I, Ricky?
You guys might have went out together last night. I don't know.
No, I couldn't. He would burn me out after a couple of hours, Robert. He's at a different level. So I know my place, Ricky. The thing is, the other thing I was trying to make, Ricky, was that the crops don't grow overnight. They take a period of time before the crop grows, and you can pick the crop. So I think a lot of agents don't know. First of all, they don't realise how many balls they've got to get in working together, and then they don't. There will be a time lapse between the planting the crop and for it ready to be harvested.
Right.
And they tend to underestimate.
Exactly. That's why you have to develop your mind to a place that you understand patience.
So there is hope for me, Ricky.
There's hope for everyone.
Oh, thank you so much, Ricky. The performance of this podcast, I thought you were going to say that there was no hope for me, Ricky. But thank you for that.
For those that might be listening or watching for the first time, there's nothing but reprobates here. So just understand that.
There might be one. I wasn't going to use that with Ricky. I think Ricky's got a very good idea what he's doing.
I'm comfortable with it. So there's all of us who've got our own backstory. It's a miracle that some of us are here. Myself, I'll put myself on that list. And
my only defense, Ricky, that the past 3 months I've been in business since I was 24, and the past 3 months have been some of the most demanding 3 months of my business career. So that's probably
why you're okay. Why you're punchy. All right. Well, listen, everybody, thank you for tuning in. I think we've done a good show. Ricky, is there anything you'd like to add as we close out?
Yeah, I'm just going to end with this. I started a mortgage company.
Okay. Well,
only a small enterprise. Only a little
right. At the very end, John, do us a favor. Take us offline so that we don't have
We'll see you next week for another interesting podcast and YouTube interview, folks. We'll see you soon. Bye.